Thank you. Now, this could be embarrassing because I'm the director of IT and I've got to connect all this here, so bear with me for a second. I need some sound as well. Don't worry, Alexander's on standby if it all goes horribly wrong. Is it good? Where is he? Oh dear. Shall we try again? Hang on. It worked earlier. As often voila! Thank you. You can clap if you wish. I'm very happy to receive applause any time. So, and I was going to say, actually, that please don't talk to me about anything to do with IT, and now you realise why. I'm very fortunate I've got 200 people that work for me back in the UK. I'm from a place called Birmingham, so excuse me if my accent is a problem, commonly called a brummie. You remember the Peaky Blinders? Okay, it's my hometown. My father was born in this area, believe it or not, but don't worry, I'm not a real Peaky Blinder. And you're probably perplexed as to why the Director of IT is here talking about supported employment. Well, I will reveal that very, very shortly. I have Sophie Robbins with me today. She's going to run the workshop later for us, and I will encourage you throughout this presentation to go and see it because she's got some wonderful stuff to share with you. I'm just going to give you the headlines. I'm going to do three things for you, really. And I've solved three problems. I haven't solved three problems. DPD solved three problems. And the first one is, I went off and said there's a problem between businesses and colleges and charities, and they're not connected. And the disabled people are like an underground in the UK. And they all sort of connect together and they're not integrated. And employers aren't going out and saying, embracing them and say, we can find work for you, we can give you paid employment. It's one problem that we looked at. The second one, and the really important bit, which is Sophie's job, is the supported employment bit. And I think we're quite unique and a bit of a rare breed there because Sophie continues their journey after employment and continues to support them all the way through their career at DPD. It's what employers should do, is my view. And the third one is actually really, really important. It's only something we've done more quite recently. There's students at school and college today, and employers aren't engaging with them, and they're trying their best, and we recognise that we actually have to get in early doors and start speaking to them, and there's two good reasons for that. One, we can help them develop their career at an early stage as an employer. And secondly, what I'm really after is, I want all those schools and colleges that we connect with to say, I want to go and work for DPD because they are an inclusive employer. They will help me on my journey in life. So those are three things I'm going to talk to you about today. But just a little things about DPD. We're quite a large parcel delivery company, turnover 2.1 billion sterling, so 10 billion kroner, I guess, something like that. We've got 15,000 employees, about 400 million parcels. It's got 400 million parcels a year we deliver in the UK. We're a pretty big outfit, right? We're actually owned by La Poste, the French post office, who have three divisions. They have parcels, where I am. They have post, of course, and they have financial services. So you can see the DPD brand is significant across the whole of Europe. It's a sizable organisation. What does it say there? Does it give us the turnover? 15 billion revenue in euros, right? UK is a significant player that in both in terms of its turnover and its profit. So that's a little bit of background. I only use this one statistic as people with disability, 5%, not employed in the UK. And I put this one up when I speak, because for me it is the most important one that you can remember. And I'm preaching, I nicked it from Claire's over there. She's looking at me thinking, you need to nick my slides. Well, I have, Claire, I'm sorry. I've taken two of the slides because this is a profound statement, but it's a true statement after some research, you see. And the problem is that employers, we have a moral responsibility, don't we? You know, you all get it right. I'm preaching to the converted here. But when I go and speak to employers, which is what part of my job has become, and it's part of my mission, is to go and help other people. And you'll see I'm talking to some quite big organisations these days. I don't know how to do the IT stuff. I found my vocation in life, I think, at about 57, something like that. You know, I love this, and the IT stuff's over there, and they keep making me do that. But anyway, so we have a moral obligation, because all I simply say is, how can you wake up every day, right, and you're busy people, and you've got a lot to do, knowing that you're not helping somebody live as long as you or I could, which is typically 20 years, right? How do you wake up every day? You should think about that every day when you wake up. Get out there and help somebody to live 20 years longer because they've got a learning disability. And that is a reality. Claire put this slide up yesterday. I'm not, you know, it is fundamentally in purpose. We all have to have a purpose in life, don't we? You get up, you've got a purpose every day. You go to work, you do stuff, whatever you do. If you don't help these people, they sit in their bedrooms, I talk to them, they've got no purpose, they play in game stations every day, colleges let them go, businesses aren't connected to them. This is just wrong in my view. And we've made a big change in DPD and how that works. We launched something called DPD Inspire. It's really about supporting internships, right? It talks about work experience there. We do a little bit of work experience. But DPD Inspire, which is what my story is about and what I'm going to tell you about today, is the program that we set up. I had a wonderful lady called Becky who started it with me. This is where it began, by the way. That's my son, Edward. You can see he's a wheelchair user, he's got moderate learning difficulties. And he went to Dudley College, local college to where I live. And he reached that magical age of 25. He was 25 years old. And there's a small miracle in itself. Edward was tube-fed for the first 7 years of his life. He had an older brother and a younger sister. My wife was very busy because I was off working, right? But he got to 25, and I thought, this is wonderful, right? And I went to the college review meeting, and I sat down in a room, lots of lovely people, just like you, and they were all sitting there, and they told me how wonderful Edward was. I know that. He's my son. He's amazing. He can do anything. And we sat down, and they talked about it, and they told me all these great things. And I was waiting for what we're going to do with Edward now. Because at 25, somebody government probably made a mad rule up and said, 25, you don't have an educational healthcare plan no more. There's no funding for you. Good luck, off you go. Really? Is that how it works? Yeah, that's good. It's good, that, Steve. Only you're 25. There's millions of Edwards. Not just in the UK, in all of your countries. Millions of Edwards. And we sat there and I said, okay, so what's going to happen to Edward? I said, well, we've got a care home down the road and we think we can get him in working there for a couple of hours a week, Steve, to me and his mom. We were very sad. They were very lovely people. I didn't get angry, but we left sad. So Edwards is a good story, why? He's not in paid employment, but it's a good story. Please don't worry about my son, but it's where I started, right? And we left that meeting, and I walked out, and I thought, oh my goodness, you know, this is desperate. And I thought, I've got to do something. This is just wrong. And I went back to the board in the UK, and I went to see my CEO at the time, and I said to him, Dwayne, he said, we've got a problem. He goes, Millsy. People often call me Millsy. I've got no problem with that. He goes, Millsy, what is it? I said, disabled people. He goes, you know, like my Eddie, because he knows Edward. I've got a bit of an advantage because I'd got a disabled child, and they knew him as well on the board, you see. And I said, people don't employ him, Dwayne. I said, we don't employ people. We're not taking care of people. He goes, oh, yeah, I never thought about it, Millsy. You're absolutely right. Can you fix it? I said, I bloody well can, right? I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'm going to try and fix this problem for you. And all I simply did is I went back to the college and I saw the principal, and I said, have you got any people like Edward on the course? They said, oh yes, they've got about 100 people. I said, got any with IT skills? She says, yeah, we have. I said, give me 3. I had no idea what I was doing, by the way. I just winged it. Sophie's very good because she makes me follow a process and do things properly these days. Well, I just went out there and I said, give me 3 people. I had a lovely lady called Becky, and Becky came on board. She worked in the HR department. I said, Becky, can you help me, right? I'm going to get some people. And we got 10 people in. We got 10 people in a room. And you know what? And we just sat down, and this is going to come through in my later slides. And when you said to them, what do you enjoy doing? What are you about? Because that's what you should do with any interview with anybody, whether they're disabled or not. What are you good at, and what do you enjoy doing? And we started there, and we took 3 people on. We launched DPD Inspire. And there you go. So we created a vision from that, and I'll tell you about the people that we took on in a moment. We created a vision, and I went back to the board and I said, I've got 3 people, right, and I'm off, and this is the vision. I want people on supported employment with disabilities working across all our depots, across the whole organisation. People need to be exposed because they will enrich your life and they will do a fabulous job. I never talk about ROI. These are people who are capable of doing jobs. I go around and speak to people that say, oh, but businesses want an ROI when they take someone who's disabled. I'm like, what do you want about? These people will do a better job probably than what you've got today. And I proved that with a number of people. I want to run out of time desperately in a minute. So here they are, look, some lovely people. Mitchie, Callum and Sinead are the first 3 people. Now Sinead, you can see her there, the black girl at the top there, thumbs up. I met her, she was like that. She had a hoodie on and headphones in, but she wanted to try and come to work. We have transformed her life, not only by giving her the opportunity to come work, but she is now a more confident and independent person. And every one of those people have got that story. Ethan up there, is Ethan on there? Yeah, he's down here. He's just won the Personality of the Year for DPD, for the department he works in. Sophie will tell you all about him at the workshop. It's worth going to hear Ethan's story if you don't do anything else. He came to the session with me. I said, Ethan, how are you? He goes, oh, Steve. He's got cerebral palsy. And I said, what do you want to do? He goes, I want to wash cars. He goes, oh, I hate this college thing. Get me out of it. You get me out. I want to come to work. I want to wash cars. I can do that for you, Ethan. He's much better than just washing cars, I'll tell you that now. He had low aspirations. He's doing a fabulous job for us. He was called a difficult child at college or something like that, you know, because he didn't enjoy it. They didn't know how to get the best out of him. We took him into the workplace. He's soared. He's doing a fabulous job. 3 more this year. It's not very ambitious, is it, right? And we've taken some more people on through the apprenticeship schemes as well who've got disabilities. They always send them to me. There was a lad called James Hill, and I said, Steve, can you speak to James? He's come through the apprentice scheme, but we think he, you know, perhaps needs a bit of support through DPD Inspire. Yeah, of course, we'll take James on. His sister's now coming to join us as a job coach, like Sophie. It's a wonderful story. I've got Sophie, I've got 2 people to work with now, which is absolutely wonderful. We're making the right investments to do that. 3 people, we've got Jared in there. He's going to do horticulture. That's what he wants to do. He's got an allotment, he grows things. I've got 9 minutes left, oh my goodness. Callum's journey. Let me tell you about Callum. He was thrown on the scrap heap, just like Edwin and all the other millions of them, right? What does it say there? Unable to meet the needs and offer Callum any progression. If I hear that, I want to actually kill. I want to turn into a Peaky Blinder, right? Because how can anybody say to anybody there is no hope for you? How can anybody turn around and say that to anybody? It is criminal. There was no hope for him. He joined us. He got his apprenticeship level 2. He got to 25. Now, the good thing for Callum is we got hold of him. He was in. He did not need to worry. We got a plan for Callum. We know what he wanted to do. He works in IT. He repairs the equipment in IT. He does a fabulous job. He got 92%. Nobody ever gave him a chance back here. 92%. Permanent contract. We gave him a job full-time. And he went forward for the Apprenticeship of the Year award in the UK. And he didn't win it, but he got highly commended. That is a phenomenal success story. And I defy any employer not to be able to do exactly the same as what we've done. Curious, we've heard the word a few times. I'm curious. And Pellegrino said it a few times. I don't think disability, I think skills and talents. What skills and talents have you got? I often try not to talk about word disability or autism and things like that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to people who've got those sorts of disabilities. What I'm interested in you as a person. It's about you. That's all you need to be. Go and find off how they can add value in your organisation. It is not difficult. You need a nutter like me. I have to say, every business needs someone like me because you've got to drive it from the top. Right? It don't happen unless there's somebody like me that's passionate about it and make it happen. The conduit in the middle, the supported employment, that is why we're here today. It's the most important bit. There's a better awareness training, and you need some good people. They're all in the organisation today. You've got lots of good people. You're all wonderful people that will help them. But let's hear from Ben Taylor. He works at the Westminster School, and he's going to tell you what his views on supported employment is.
Hello, Ben Taylor here from Westminster School. We're incredibly pleased to be partnering with DPD. Not only have they supported us with getting a new minibus and helping us open our new shop, but also the opportunities that we know that DPD can offer our young people in the future into employment is extremely exciting. As a school, we recognise that the support that they get once they go into employment is a challenge for some businesses. So some of the work that DPD are doing to support young people with additional needs into employment is truly groundbreaking. So we are very excited about the opportunities that are available for our young people.
There you go, there's Ben. People talk to me about adjustments, you know, and they make a big deal of, oh, we can't take anybody, we've got to make adjustments. No, you haven't. 75 quid is the average adjustment that you make. Mitchie, who works in IT, has serious anxiety problems. You know what we do for Mitchie? Most simple thing in the world, he works a treat. When he has a problem, when he's feeling particularly anxious, he doesn't like to interrupt anybody. I'm worried about asking somebody a question, because if I ask him a question and they're busy and I stop them working, and he goes round in his head and he gets worse and worse and worse. And he ties himself up in knots. So we gave him a little button, and he presses the button, and it changes colour. And then somebody goes over to him and says, hey Mitchie, what's up, how can I help you? And he's happy with that. And then he presses another button because he's having a real bad time. It goes red. He leaves. Leave Mitchie alone. He's having a moment. No problem. He'll be back. A simple adjustment that helps somebody with quite severe anxiety. In lockdowns was a challenge. Sophie, this is Sophie's really, she got hold of 600 students from all the colleges and were connected to, and she ran a whole load of sessions on Google Meet we use, you know, like Teams and all that sort of stuff. And she engaged with them because they went home, and we thought we can't just leave them at home and have no engagement. So the supported employment was the problem. We needed to keep them going. They ran she'll tell you all about those sort of sessions. She did a wonderful job helping that. We ran a couple of competitions as well. So we call this Delivering More, this section, if you like. And you can see there's a whole variety. Sophie and I there at the top, we go out to colleges and we sell DPD as a supported employer. I do that as a board member. It is my responsibility to do that. I take it personally. It is important to get out there and tell people what you're doing and why you do it. This is the bit, the Careers Enterprise Company. This is what Sophie is. And we've got a number of enterprise advisors, as they're called. Now, what do they do practically? They work with schools and colleges to help people develop their career plans in advance of them moving on to college and then into work. Sophie and Callum, there's 2 months between them. Sophie tells me the story. She had a wonderful career development because she was a very capable young lady, very intelligent, academically brilliant, great at work as well. Callum, sorry mate, there's no hope for you. We're going to throw you on the scrap heap. We're trying not to allow that happen in DPD. We're trying to get hold of them early doors and say, we'll help you with that career development. And then maybe you'll come and work for us one day. How nice would that be? The Westminster School, you heard Ben, we've opened a shop with them. We do things like this. It brings me on to my final session. I realised that we needed to play a bigger part in the community as well. And there's a lot of activity in this space, and we're connecting with the schools and colleges. We ran that competition, the sustainability competition, the Christmas card competition, for all of the special educational needs and colleges and schools in the area where we're based. So that's like a place called Sandwell and Walsall and Dudley. It's like big districts of Birmingham. We said, come and do a Christmas card competition. They did a sustainability competition. I was proud to go to 100 people in a room like this, or 150 people, all kids from the schools and colleges, and we rewarded them. We gave them cash prizes for the competition. It was DPD being a good employer, but my real hook was DPD are going to give you a job one day, hopefully. Think about us as you go through school and college, because there is somebody out there who wants to help you. We've met some wonderful people along the way, and there's just a few up there, right? You know, there's a whole bunch of people, bases up there and everybody else. BT and Salesforce, part of my mission now is to go to other companies. I'm working with some large companies and say, what are you doing? Because I've done this, can I help you? Right? It is important really from a board member's point of view that I do that sort of stuff. It's great to be, you know, disability confident, but part of the value of life. Those are nice things to do that, you know, it puts you, you know, it's good for marketing purposes. But I'm kind of okay with that stuff, but I want to get out there and go to a company and go, come on, let's do it. There's no barriers to stop you, nothing. The money's not a problem. You're going to have some wonderful people working for you. Right, let me just tell you 2 slides very, very quickly. What we're going to do here, we're going to work with Claire. We've got 8 from DFM Project Search. You saw it yesterday. We're going to do something. We've launched DPD Inspire in the South East as well. So we're going to have, is it 8 or 10? I can't, 8 or 10? 8. We're going to have 8 students in September coming to the head office. It's our next set of interns. I told you about 3 earlier. My ambition is much greater than that. There's 8 more coming in September. We're doing 5 in the South East. We've got 10 regions with all our depots, all the operational sites. We're doing 5 in the South East. We'll get that done this year. We'll create a model to roll it out to the whole of DPD. And when I've done that, I can go to sleep. Maybe, unless there's somebody else out there that needs my help. I'm sure there is. We're going to run a school project. What we're doing there is simply we're going to get the school to write a book, and it's about the DPD driver and his role in the community. We're going to link it heavily to D&I, diversity, inclusion, and we're going to create these stories. The schools are going to write the books for us. We're going to create a series of books that we can sell and give away to lovely people like yourselves about the DPD driver in the community and how he's helping the SEND schools and colleges and their families. It's a great idea, and I'm sure you'd agree. I've created a book, me and Sophie have. There's some copies here today. We can send you all to BPF. This is a 15-minute read for an employer about DPD Inspire, what we did and what you need to do. Go off and make it and help happen yourselves. Give it to them. Ask them to speak to me. No problem. That's the guide. Sorry, I've done that the wrong way around. 7 seconds, I'm almost there. Part of the guide is, one of the things that I'm hoping to do is run an employers event. Now, I'm talking to various MPs over in the UK, and I'm going to run it at one of our national sortation centres. They're huge, right? And I'm going to try and get as many employees as I can to that, local employees, and say, come and listen to our story. And when you leave, they don't know this, and you can tell them, I'm sure you won't, but when they leave, I'm going to make them make a pledge. Because I'm going to say to them, don't rock up, right? Don't turn up and just go away and say, it was a very nice time, we had a very nice lunch, and we love what Steve's doing. When you leave this room today, there's a bunch of colleges. Which one are you going to go and meet on Monday? Make your pledge when you leave this room. And that's the employees event that I'm trying to set up and run. I'm going to leave you with a quote now, and I love this quote. I hope you love it too, because to me it encapsulates everything that we're all trying to do, and I'm trying to do, and Sophie's trying to do. I'm going to leave you with this quote, and the guy speaking is Mitchie. He says it beautifully. Just listen to this.
I shall pass through this world but once. Any good that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer it, for I shall not pass this way again.
Thanks for listening. Thank you.